Okay, we're going to look at the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast, some people claim it can be occurring today. However, that's a wrong view of the Bible. The mark of the beast occurs in the middle of the 7 year tribulation, and the 7 year tribulation has not yet begun. So it's unfortunate that some say we get the mark of the beast today, and some say when the 7 year tribulation begins, and some say in the middle of the tribulation. Who's right? The ones that believe the mark of the beast cannot be received until the middle of the 7 year tribulation are right, as we will soon see, according to the Bible and not man's word. We see in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27, a description of when the mark of the beast will occur. Daniel foretold a 7 weeks of years period of national Israel. And these 70 weeks of years have one more week to go. And it's important to remember that this pertains only to Israel, these 70 weeks of years. The church is not mentioned in these 70 weeks of years one time, since none of it involves the church. In Daniel knew nothing about the church, and in the 70 weeks he was explaining to Israel. Daniel 9:27 also tells us that the Antichrist will confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. Then in the midst of the week, he will cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations, he will make it desolate. In Revelation chapter 6, verse 3 and 4, shows us the rise of the Antichrist, and he was given power to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And then in Daniel chapter 11, verse 39, it is seen that thus shall he do in the strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many and divide the land for gain. So obviously, there will be a world conflict beginning at the beginning of the 7 year tribulation. When we see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, we will know that the desolation is near, as told in Luke chapter 21, verse 20. And again in Daniel 9, verse 27, we see the setup of the abomination of desolation, and the temple would occur. For this to happen, a temple must first be built in Jerusalem, and then must begin the daily sacrifices in the temple. Orthodox Jews are trying today to build that third temple. This is a sign of the beginning of the tribulation is near. In Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, we're told that the Antichrist, or told what the Antichrist will do. It says, it tells us that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So it is clear that everyone will have to take the mark of the beast or be killed. In the verses below, we will see that people will get a mark in their right hand or forehead, and this will enable them to buy and sell. Some people today are saying that the vaccine is the mark of the beast, and that's why people are dying. Well, people don't die because of the mark of the beast. They live. They worship Satan. Again, in Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, and I'm going to read down through 18. And beginning in verse 15, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would worship, or as many as would not worship the image of the beast, should be killed. And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man, and his number is 666, which is 666. Taking the mark of the beast will be voluntarily. So to take the mark of the beast, one must voluntarily worship the beast. This separates those who takes the mark from those who don't and refuse to worship the beast. Those that refuse will be killed. And Revelation chapter 20, verse 4 tells us that those that were killed and beheaded did not have the mark on their foreheads or in their hands. And the church is raptured prior to the 7-year tribulation. And the beast kill were saved people who lived to rule and reign with Christ for 1,000 years. So people can take the mark of the beast or be killed or survive on their own without the mark of the beast. It can also be seen that a false prophet will be sent to deceive the people by means of miracles that he is given power to do in the sight of the beast. The false prophet will perform miracles that astonishes the world and will gain a huge following. Verse 12 says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Revelation chapter 13, beginning with verse 13, I'll read through verse 15. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So the false prophet then will then use his huge following to persuade people of earth to worship the Antichrist and to accept the mark of the beast in Revelation 13:12. And he exercises power, all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And in verse 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So the false prophet's efforts to persuade people to accept the mark of the beast will be successful, as the acceptance of the mark of the beast will be widespread. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. The false prophet is unlikely to get so many people to accept the mark of the beast without a public effort to persuade them to take the mark. Therefore, it is likely that the false prophet will conduct a campaign to promote the need for people to accept the mark of the beast. Most people will listen to the false prophet. Therefore, you should not worry about getting the mark of the beast unknowingly. The end times tells us the mark of the beast is coming, but there is no need to worry about it yet. No one will be forced to accept the mark of the beast against their will. This is why we can know that the time of the mark of the beast is not yet arrived. First, we do not have a 7-year covenant yet. And next, we're not living in a time of major global conflict yet. But it appears this will occur soon unless things change soon, if you've been watching the news lately. And then, too, we do not yet have a temple in Jerusalem, the third temple, where daily sacrifices are taking place, as outlined in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. And then the Antichrist is not demanding the world's worship yet. So we do not have a false prophet who is performing miracles yet either. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.